We're live. What's up?
Hey everyone.
It is your boys, the BkGameDevs from Brooklyn, New York. How you
Yep, we're
doing?
doing good. I hope everyone is doing all right. We're back for another Game Dev Thursday, and so today we have a bit of a toss up. We're working on a few things. We have some bugs that we have to figure out. One of which is first, sorry, before we talk about bugs, talk about yesterday. So
Speaking
yesterday
of
we
bugs,
were streaming.
actually,
Yeah, right. Like speaking of bugs, and just in case, yesterday we played Hollow Knight, and it was a fun time watching Alex play his Steel Soul run. So again, for those of you who may not have been there yesterday, Steel Soul is a mode where any death sends you back to the beginning of the game, and it's permadeath. So Alex died once. You can go watch that recap from yesterday's stream, and it was a fun time. But Alex then in his second run got very far. We got through like 3 bosses and a few mini bosses, as well as moving from the first biome of the game into the second one. So that was a pretty fun time as well. But yeah, like we're gonna be playing more Hollow Knight next week. So if you're into that, look forward to it.
yep, Hollow Knight is probably one of the best modern Metroidvanias in our
Definitely,
opinion, and we
definitely
have
is.
played a lot of Metroidvanias, and we love a lot of other ones, but this is one of our favorites.
Yeah, it is
And
a very good
we do
one.
recommend that you go back and play it, and we like it a lot, and we're gonna keep on playing it.
Yep, I totally agree. It's awesome. As for
Hours that
today,
we're working on.
yeah. So as for today, we're working on a few things. So we can take a look at some bugs that we have, where like you can attack while moving, and the player can kind of move after death in a very fun and funny and glitchy way. Or we can also take a look at some projectiles. So at the end of this game, our current idea is our main character will have the ability to shoot like bow and arrow, so like a projectile of some sort. So we may start writing that logic, how to shoot a projectile from the player. We don't have an animation for it at the moment, but we're focused on the functionality, so we might be working on that. Or we might do the same thing from the enemy, where the enemy can shoot out a projectile that like flies forward for a while, and if it hits the player, it does damage.
Before we dive
So
into the
yeah,
code, Alex, do you think you could go into the editor and show what the bugs are? Just
Sure,
show what we're dealing with here.
sure.
yeah,
I don't really remember what they are,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
I'll tell you how to
yeah,
activate them.
yeah. Quan can demonstrate the story of what's happening here.
Yeah, so if you go into the game view or sandbox, it doesn't matter which. Actually, sandbox might be better, so it's easier to see, but it's fine. Let's see. Boom. All right. So now that we're in here, now mash space and attack. Like space and
space
X,
attack.
just like yeah, just like mash it and like just like keep going, and eventually now you'll see you don't have the ability to attack. Try and attack.
I
Gone,
cannot.
right? Yeah, and so I think that when we first saw this bug, and you can do this. This is another bug. You can death jump, death.
This is called the Super Soribel World glitch that we posted on our channel last week.
Yeah, and you can dash a while. It's so funny. That's great.
So we have a number of glitches. We don't think. Well, we don't know if we're gonna fix them today, but we'll fix them at some point. But
Can you go through like a screen transition and see if it like keeps you like that?
Oh yeah, sure. I
That
think
would be pretty funny.
I think it doesn't.
oh, well, that's
Ah,
fun.
Well, I can't attack anymore still, but
you still can't attack, right?
it's
Got it.
because it sort of resets the animation.
Also, like I love how the cave looks. Though, like we haven't really explored it all too much, but yeah, it's fun to
Speedrunners,
be.
pay attention to the exploits now.
Please don't. No, please do. But yeah, so we can take a look at those bugs, and see if we can get those fixed. I remember you were saying before, because of how the action-based system, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, we have a system where instead of everything being driven by code, we have a list of like action sequences that we run, saying A should come before B, B should come before C, that we use to dictate certain things. And I think you were saying that clashes with the like attacking or the jumping, and so that's why it causes this issue where you can't attack anymore or something like that. I think, right?
Not to
Something like
interrupt,
that.
but isn't there like a more like simpler bug where while you're attacking, you're kind of just like legit like you have like ice physics? Did
Yeah,
you
like-
demonstrate that already?
Well,
Mm.
this whole thing, this thing that I started working on or started brainstorming these
Yeah.
interactions, it was meant to fix all of them in a way.
Okay.
Because there are interactions that we're not really defining, right? Like, for example, attacking should prevent any walking or any jumping. They're essentially things that should interrupt other things, and there are requirements for a particular thing to be of certain value.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope to sort of solve with this data structure. Defining, and this is purely for Boolean values. We're not doing this for any other state values, but there are other state values like integers and floats and classes and all that. But the ones we use most for most of all for like a lot of things are Booleans. So it's going to be strictly Booleans for now. I can't even think of a way we can do this, and like it not be a Boolean, I guess.
I understand. Yeah. Fair enough. Sure. I think that's fine. So let's take a stab at that then, and then yeah. So the idea for everyone again who's watching, these state interactions will be able to determine what states can and cannot interact. So can you jump while doing a certain action or while you're in a certain state? So if you're in the state of death, should you be able to move? No. If you are in the state of attacking, can you move? No. If you're in the state of dashing, can you move? Yeah. So you can try and like move around and stuff. If you're jumping, can you move? Yeah, you can, jump and change your direction in midair. Stuff like that is what we're going to be looking at here. And so he's creating a public class on line 13. He has an interaction class, which is just a state and then a list of it's going to be an array of state sets, which I'm assuming is just like it'll just keep a list of what it can and can't interact with. Is that right?
I think it's so this it's
sure.
it's,
Go ahead.
it's two things, right? So this is actually like state key and state set. Here we're essentially like for this particular key. What does it do to other keys, right?
Okay, so for example, like the state key attack will say for the state key of moving or whatever or jumping that you can't do it, or like it'll be false or something.
Yeah, exactly. But
Okay.
under certain conditions. Hold on, I think I might have. Okay, here. This may need renaming, which can be annoying. Which is going to be annoying if we've already like made this like a huge like big thing. Because
Why don't we
renaming,
make it? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
renaming variables will in the inspector it will essentially wipe out what you had before because it's
I understand.
serializing it under this particular name. So I'm just thinking of a good name. So
Okay,
essentially,
but also I have a quick question. So this will be so the true state sets is an array or like a list of all the states where you're allowed to do that thing while in the current state, and false all things you can't. Is there a reason we don't make it like the way we did with the try get stuff? Like why don't we make it a map where each state key just has a true false value in it, and you can just say try get this, and it'll just tell you true false. That could work.
This is more like a data definition. Like we're just defining the interactions. It will end up being used in that whole state controller in the end. Right here, we're just defining what causes what. So, given that a particular state is true, this is the set of things that's going to happen, which are I don't know what a good example is, but is attacking, right?
Okay.
So say is attacking is true. Under the true state set, we want to make sure certain things are false, right? Like is walking.
Wait, that confused me. If is attacking is true in the true state sets, we want to set things as false?
Yeah. Hold on, sorry. Can
Sure.
music be heard right now? Give me a second.
Let me check as well.
I didn't want to interrupt the thought, but I couldn't tell. So yeah, can you check?
I
on
don't
that?
hear the music on.
No,
stream.
sorry. I mean other noises other than my sounds. Hold on.
Oh,
Like background.
I think I hear it now on stream.
I hear Spotify now. The like
Okay.
lo-fi on stream now. Yeah. Also, again, shout out to anyone who is new here. We appreciate it. I think I see some new faces. We stream game development on Thursdays and gaming on Wednesdays, and we're here working on our own Metroidvania game. And so we're trying to figure out some state interactions and stuff because we're taking a unique approach to how we build the actions in our game to make it a bit easier for us in the long run as this gets bigger and bigger. So yeah, thanks for joining us. We appreciate the support. But yeah,
We
back to you, Alex.
appreciate
Yeah, I'm
the
just
old
gonna
and existing
give the,
faces as well.
Yes, all the old school people for sure.
I'm just gonna like give an example, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Apuk.
Yeah, there you go. I put 420.
42710.
Nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope I did not butcher that name. Tell me if I did.
Oh, did I do this wrong? Hold on.
Thanks for the
I
follow.
might have done this wrong.
Thanks
Oh,
so much.
Here we go. That's what I did wrong. Oops.
Okay, yeah, so-
State interactions. Okay, I don't know why I started off with 3 elements, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh, good.
So the idea here, right, is that is walking, or you know what? I think a better example is attacking, right? If is attacking is true, then we want to ensure that. Oh, hold on. Is
What's up,
walking
fun guy?
should
Thanks
be
for
false.
popping in.
Hey, Shadow Fun Guy. Always good to see a familiar face. What's going on?
Yeah, this is pretty much it. So if is attacking is true, we want to make sure that is walking is false. You get what I'm saying?
Say that one more time. One more time for me.
So close. Okay. If is attacking is true,
Okay.
we want to set is walking to false. That's an example of an interaction.
So why is it in the true state sets? That's the part that because that makes sense.
Because there may be a situation where if we want there is a set of things that we want to happen when say is attacking is false, for example. That is an example, right? So if we're saying is walking is false, you know, there might be something else we want to make sure of that like can dash or something. Oh, hold on, guys.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't fully follow.
Got some chatting in chat. That makes
Hey.
sense.
Okay, so that sounds good, fun guy. Refining a drawing, that's always a good feeling. I draw a lot, so I totally feel that. And then
When it's an
working on your
artist
website,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, good luck with that. I know working on websites is not easy.
Yeah.
And then Apuk. I'm glad. And also hi from the US to Mexico. That's awesome.
Nice.
It's good to see people from different places. That's dope. Thanks for coming in and you know, your first time chat and joining our stream. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for the follow too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Fungi, how about us? We've had, you know, we've worked our jobs for the day, and now we're here to stream with all y'all. So we're feeling pretty good. We're trying our best to get this all working.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're hanging in there.
It is complex, as you can see. Like you would think that we would be amazing, but no, we struggle with the same things. We have tons of code that we've written that we're trying to refine.
It's funny, you see that we're working with C# here, but like in my day job, I work with JavaScript.
I also work with the JavaScript, and so
As this
JavaScript is a bit tough. But it's one of those once you get it, you feel super powerful. But until that point, it's like this is everything kind of just breaks in certain ways. So yeah, I agree. C# is better than C++ IMO. Now C++ has probably more power, but it's not fun to write. Like, I don't like it. But C# is so much more appealing to my brain and my eyes. So I agree. But yeah, so
the capitalizations make me feel weird though in C#. The conventions.
And so are these C# conventions, or is it just the conventions that you use, Alex, or is this like the standard?
Some of these are many of these are C# conventions, like naming conventions I've seen often. These are the particular ones I use. Like for example, I know underscore are private variables.
Yeah, I know that they have that in JavaScript too.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of uppercasing things though. I'm so used to camel
I've become
case.
used to it. I've become used to it though because of us. It's C#.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
But then when I'm in my
JavaScript-
job, I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, hold on, is wall jumping as crouching? So here, what we want to do is we want to prevent this, like prevent movement, right? So we have raw X.
Yeah, so here because we don't have an it's attacking at the moment. That's what I was saying. What we could have done is done like a try get or something, in order to like try get is attacking and then stop movement. But we don't have access to that here, or do we?
No, I guess we could do that. You're right. We could do that. I guess the idea was to also
Make a better fix, because that's like a temporary fix, right?
kinda.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we could very well do that. We could say is attacking. I guess the only thing is we don't have anything that actually is setting is attacking to true.
That's what I and so
Hold
like
on, let me look at what we're doing in in attack.
go for it, yeah. And so in chat, yeah. So C++ is much more extensible, but then Apple here says that C++ rules, and look, it does rule.
That was
powers
the
all of
language that
Unreal.
we learned when we went to college. That's
Yeah,
when
it was our first
learned.
one. And also, if you know Unreal, all of Unreal, I think, is powered and written in C++, I think.
It's a
And
powerful
that's
language.
part of
I'll
why
tell you
I
that.
haven't gotten into Unreal, because I am not the best C++ person. It is not super fun for me.
Throw us back into it, and we could probably do it though.
See, now, I don't know about all that. I could write you Hello World. I could write you a basic calculator. I could not write game code in C++.
You're not giving yourself enough credit. I'll tell you that.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Man, so wholesome, so
Absolutely.
wholesome. And then
It's definitely
Elias
not
is
as
like
easy.
stares blankly in JavaScript engineer. I get it. You're like, I don't touch any of that C stuff. I only write in JavaScript, TypeScript, and ECMAScript. That's all I know.
Fun guy, I think you're right. It's a great language.
Oh,
but
that's
it's not
what
as
we
easy.
wanted. That's what we wanted these state interactions for.
Okay.
It's because of the animations. So, in the animations, we're setting states, right? Like attack one, combo frame on, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the problem was, I guess the original thing it was supposed to fix is once the animation, like say if you attack or you jump during during this animation, then it
Things don't get
transitions
reset.
yeah, exactly. So so that's kind of what we wanted it for. In order, like, hey, if jumping
yes,
is true,
yes,
then
yes, right.
set these to false.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why the attacking breaks, because when the animation starts and you jump, you interrupt it. It doesn't get to set all the states correctly, and so then you can't attack again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so we wanted this interaction control, or this state interaction.
that's exactly
to
what
handle
this was for. And
Cool.
on top of that, see here, I think can transition. So I think when we have, let me see, I have to get back to it. Yeah, this whole performing attack 1, performing attack 2, performing attack 3. We could essentially do something like this. Let me make sure that this is correct.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Trying to
real
remember
quick,
where.
in chat.
We're gonna let you guys have fun in the chat. I wanna.
Yeah, it's great. Thinks about what to do for a website. I feel you.
You guys are funny. You guys are funny.
Y'all are funny, and your commentary is always great. We love talking to engineers or non-engineers. Everyone is fun. It's fun to interact. But yeah, so Alex, you are now setting. Okay, I'm following this.
So
But-
basically, if any of these are true, then it's going to set is attacking to true. That's the goal.
Okay, and that sounds good to me. That's
Yeah.
how my brain works, where the true states is setting something to true, and so then would that allow us to Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Follow.
We're gonna have something. We're gonna have other things setting it to false. For example, the end of the animation, um, but also other things, right? Like what's a good example? What do you call them? Jumping or dashing, right? If we end up if we end up using those as ways to as something that can interrupt an attack, then we would essentially say, okay, is attacking to false if you're dashing or jumping immediately.
Which makes sense.
This way things reset. So that's kind of what I mean by interruption.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. And that also means we have to be very, very on top of our wiring here. Because as soon as we miswire, then you can break things and you won't have a functionality, right? Like, if we didn't do this right, then you couldn't attack. Or if we did the dashing wrong, then you might not be able to dash again or something like that. So definitely something to keep in mind.
So here, what could be done is we have bool state set, states, all this.
That's
stuff.
what I was saying here. So you see how bool state set here is a map?
That's just
or not a map. Sorry.
It's
not
just
a map,
an event.
Yes, an event. But sorry, we have the states thing, the dictionary. Is there a reason why like the true set states isn't? Oh, I get it. Okay, ignore me because you're setting it to true or false, so it can't be a map because a map is just for.
You guys zoom out for a second. Explain the idea of the state interactions and the whole performing attack 1, 2, 3. Just to chat. Just a basic idea of what you guys are talking about. Just so people aren't confused.
Of course, yeah. So real quick, for Shadow, go ahead and lurk. Good luck on your website. And then Apuk says, since when have we been making this game? We started this game in the planning phases about a year ago and change, and we've been working on the this game like on stream since like November or so of last year.
November.
So for about 3-4 months now. And then what Chris said about what are we working on? So the way that we handle attacks in our game right now, the player has a three hit combo. The way we do that is as soon as the first attack is playing, while the animation, like the player swinging the sword is playing, there is a frame that we've set where after a certain frame, if the player presses attack again, it'll be a combo. They will now do their second attack. And same thing for the third attack. The issue though is at these times where you like press, let's say you're doing the first attack and you press attack again at the right time and it goes into attack 2. If you take a separate action like jumping, it can interrupt setting like, okay, perform attack 2 as true. And so then the player will never perform the second attack and they'll get stuck in that state. So they'll be able to move, but they'll never be able to attack again because that state didn't get properly set. It got interrupted. And that's what you saw when Alex was showing it. He was attacking and jumping, and then he just couldn't attack.
Exactly. So if that's confusing, ask any more questions because sometimes we can get very devy.
Yeah, very technical, and our goal is to be make everything as understandable as possible.
And ask as many questions as possible. Yeah.
And then Lobo, someone says Lobo in chat. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's your friend. I remember. I was on the Chill Gaming stream on the weekend.
I understood everything. Yeah, totally. All right. The true long and short of it is, if you jump while attacking, it breaks the attack. We're trying to fix that by allowing certain things to not interrupt or to interrupt.
Yes. Sometimes you just gotta ask a question with a question, and then you keep
I totally get it.
Question. You keep breaking down logic with more similar logic, and that's programming. That's it.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's how it works.
But yeah, Alex, someone hit you with a strong Lobo, all caps. Lobo. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's Mar! Yo, what's up, Mar? How you doing?
Yo, Mar, that's all right, man. That's okay.
So excited. This guy is like another me.
Oh man,
like we have so many similarities that like.
Gotcha.
It's wild.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
That's
Thanks
a joke. Alex is cool. That's cool.
No, yeah, Alex is cool.
But like, it's all right that you can't handle this sometimes. Like, sometimes I ask this question. I'm like, hey guys, zoom. they're saying sometimes. Like, I'm a developer, but I ask them to zoom out because I'm like, can you guys stop for a second? Because I want you to explain it to the viewers, but like, can you explain it to me? Thank you for reminding us to hydrate.
Yes, hydrate. Thanks for the bits. We appreciate it. Always stay strapped with your water, y'all.
Posture check. Oh yeah. Look at these. Right. Look at the viewers caring about
the posture. You gotta crack your back. Posture.
Oh, I was a question mark for this whole stream.
Yeah, it can't be a question mark. I'm trying to be an
exclamation point. No, not an
exclamation point.
More like a, I don't know. 10 out of 10 Super Metroid shirt. You know what else I got? Hold on, just a flex.
Flex it. 10 out of 10 Super Metroid.
Look at this.
Tattoo.
Look at that.
Damn, okay.
Alright, maybe I'm going too hard.
But what was I gonna say? So Apuk says, do we start from our code or do we have all the assets and all of that? And it's no problem about all the questions. Like, it's okay if it doesn't have to do with code. Just ask us anything about what we do or our game. It's totally fine.
It's fine.
But to answer your question, so we started with code actually. So all the art you see, all the sprites you see actually are not going to be in the final game. The final game, we're going to get other custom art made. But since we didn't want to wait for all the art to be done to start our game, we're starting the game and getting all the functionality in. So attacking, enemies, menus, help, all that stuff right now with these free assets that we got online. And then once we get more art, we'll slowly just migrate things over. So the player's look will change, the backgrounds will change, the sounds may or may not change, but just stuff like that. The music will change. So that's what we're going for right now. We wanted to get a lot of functionality out so that once we have a good foundation for a game, changing the art is it's tedious, but it's a much easier task than waiting for all of that before we started to write any of our code. Thanks for the question.
Essentially, yeah, and don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Like, we're trying to build a friendly community here.
Yeah,
non-developers, developers. We want people to teach us.
Gamers,
people. Essentially. Exactly. Exactly what you just said.
Exactly.
What we need sometimes to do is just to start. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Of course. Anytime. So, Alex, tell us. So I see a lot of state controller stuff. So what's going on?
Man, I don't even know what's going on, man.
All right, so
no, I know what's going on. It's so here I have to for this particular state, I have to pull all the interactions and then apply the predefined value that's supposed to happen given a certain condition, right?
Okay, got it. So, what?
Yeah, and just in case we end up making multiple for one, I don't know why we would, but
you're going through.
Yeah, so basically, give me all the interactions where the it's the current state that's being set.
So, for example, if is attacking has 3 states to set.
No, well,
it's all of those.
It's more so like performing attack 1. Set to true.
Okay.
Or is the one being set, then I'm going to deal with all of its thing. And if it's its true value is on, then I'm only going to do the ones under the true state sets, which is attacking is true, is a part.
Okay.
It's a lot of weird.
It is complex though.
Yeah, it's complex stuff, but also that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because we're gonna do this, it's gonna work, and we're never gonna look at it again.
Yeah, that's the other thing for Apuk. We're writing a lot of the code now, so that of course things have to be changed a bit later, but our goal is to get really complex stuff for the most part done, where all we have to do is tweak it later in the future, instead of having to write all that tough stuff later. We want to get the tough interaction stuff, the tough enemy stuff, the tough menu stuff, all that stuff as far as we can, as the assets start rolling in. As of right now, we're in the concept art stages. We have some concepts for some characters, some concepts concept for some locations. And once we finalize those, we'll then get like actual assets made that we can pop into the game as kind of like, you know, alpha build assets. I'm sure we'll change colors and stuff here and there, but you know, yeah.
Yeah, and in general, that's been our mindset since we started the channel. The channel in what was it, January 2021. Before we started this game, Soribel, we started with a game called Wake Up, and we've reused and expanded on some code from that. So we've just been continuing with that mindset of building on and reusing code.
Yep, and this is already a much bigger game than a Wake Up was.
Absolutely.
Not as complex at the moment because we had like moving platforms and disappearing platforms and stuff, but
was the first game released or abandoned? Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. It got released. Let me drop that link in chat.
You want to go for the? I have it. I can do it.
Oh, go then I go for it. If you're faster than me, yeah, go for it.
So basically, yeah, it does. So so it's called Wake Up, and it was a very small platformer game that we put on a site called itch.io. If you're part of the indie game community, you might I'm gonna post a link in the chat right now. Give it a whirl if you'd like. We basically did it in this format. Like every Thursday, we developed it on stream, and it took us how many months? 7 or 8?
7 or 8 because we were only doing dev on stream, and
we only did dev on stream. Like
and it's pretty. It took a while, but
it took a while for that reason. But you know what? We like it. Honestly,
yeah. I'm definitely a fan.
It has a very cool concept, and we've reused some of there.
Yep, exactly that. So definitely go and check that out if you're privy to that. And
it's not polished. It's not polished. You know, there's bugs.
Do not expect
don't expect perfection.
It is definitely a beginner style game, but not in a bad way. Just like, you know, there's some good jumping, there's platforming.
Yeah. You can only play it in a browser, just to let you know.
Yeah, we made it for web.
Yeah, made it for web only. Only in the browser. Interesting concept.
Yep, it has to do with darkness and stuff like that. And let us know what you think. Let
us know what you think. That was our origin, and also that's our itch.io. Just to let you know.
Yeah, so as we release anything, we'll be putting it, like, we plan to at some point put up like alpha builds of this game
on itch.io.
That'll go on itch for sure. And so, yeah, but I don't want to forget Alex. So where are we?
I forget Alex.
Yeah, like I can't. Alex has been going crazy, and I want to make sure that we explain and know everything that's going on.
Oh man, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes.
Okay, all right. So what's the idea of what you're trying to do, even if that's not what you're doing?
Oh, I want to test this out first, see if this state interaction stuff works. So if I attack like that, we don't have anything setting the thing to false. So yeah, see, there you go. So it did set it to true.
Okay, so it should get set to false after you're done, right?
Yeah. So here, let me see. We can do that through animation, right? At the very end of each animation, because if it reaches the end of the animation, then I think it's safe. It's safe to say like set is attacking to false, right? Because it's at this point that when you start the next combo attack, right? Attack 2. Its attacking is going to still be true, right? So you only want to do it at the end of these attack animations. So, but this way.
How about attack 3 then?
Same thing. All of them. You would set it on each one of them. We would just have to make sure that anything that can interrupt attacking. We got to make sure that it also sets that to false. Like these things, basically, or we block things from happening.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like for example, we can't dash while attacking. We'll see. It's going to be like a hybrid solution between like things we do specifically in the code and then using this data interaction thing.
Yeah.
The most important thing is making sure that we properly disable things.
Yeah, that like I was saying before, that wiring is important. As soon as we miss anything once, then like you just won't be able to perform a certain action, and it'll be very hard to track down why.
So here I'm just going to add an animation event. It's going to set false state for is attacking.
Okay, cool.
I wish I can just copy this. No.
Yeah, I can you do a copy component or something like animation?
I added it to the wrong spot. Okay, there we go. No, apparently not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Last frame, right there. Add an animation event.
Set false state.
Yeah, keep in mind a lot of this is just boring old coding. So
Yeah. It's part of the process though. There's a lot of the fun stuff where you're looking at all the visuals, and some of it's the under the hood wiring that really makes the game shine.
Yeah. So here, if I do it again, and I attack.
Yeah.
And we go into the debug inspector.
Sure.
For player, wherever the player is.
I can't stand that they're under the ground tiles. It kills me every time.
Oh, okay. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, because they're
debug.
Not meant to be there. Is that what you're saying, Quan?
No, it's not. I think they're purposely there, right?
Sorry, what's that?
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'm lost too. Where is it? Is attacking?
Hold on.
Okay,
so here you kind of see it's getting set to false at the end of the animation.
I see that.
Yep, yeah. That's good.
But it's getting to true on performing attack.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Two things are happening. The end of the animation is setting to false, right?
And the next animation sets it to true.
Well, the next animation, there's this time, right? There's that like time where you can actually go transition into the next one. Mm-hmm. So at that point, those things are definitely not getting set to false, right? So is attacking doesn't need to really be set to true in the animation event. However, we still have something setting it to true just in case, and that's the state interactions piece.
Cool.
So here, now that we have something going for that, a way to manage it, we could do something here where we're saying like is attacking, right?
Yeah.
And we don't really care about like setting it from here. We just need to know what it is.
Exactly.
Something like this, right? And I have to figure out a better way to clean this up. Maybe put it in a region or something. But it's just a way for us to access it through code. Mm-hmm.
Also, just to Apuk, thanks. We appreciate it. That's also free assets. We think that the animation looks good on the player too. And there we try our best to add like the fun like lighting effects and stuff and everything there. So like thanks for the compliment. We appreciate it.
Yeah, the most important thing that we're trying to do, with using these free assets is just creating that flow, right? All the logic, putting things together. This way, when we replace them, nothing should really be different in terms of how it works.
Right. So like the functionality is there. It's just like, once we have the actual art, it's really, there's not much we actually have to change.
Exactly that.
I hope.
We hope. It's yeah.
We hope, and I know that when we change everything and all the assets, everything's gonna just like.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that simple,
but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So go ahead, Alex.
No, I mean here I think it might be gather inputs where we want it.
Where we want to do what? Check the attacking?
Yeah. Oh crap.
Whoa.
that was yeah. So what don't we want to do when we're attacking?
I think we don't want them to dash. I think we want it to be a committal action where like attack, and if you stop attacking you can dash, but I guess you shouldn't be able to jump, move, dash, slide, crouch.
So it's essentially disabling the input.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we could just say something like this.
And I think that works fine. Yeah, I think that's totally good. And so now, if you try and mash space, and attack, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let me just go back to normal view. What's attack?
X.
X.
Oof.
No, okay. I was just not clicking. See, so I can't really move now when I'm attacking.
Okay, so you're like holding like left and right.
I am holding left and right, yeah.
And now press space, like try and jump as well.
I could only do it after I actually finish the attack.
And that's fine. So during you can't.
Right, exactly.
Got you. Okay, nice. That's awesome. That I know it doesn't look any different to everyone on stream, but that's a bug fix because you were able to slide around. And now let's do the same thing for death, because right now, if you go die right now, you should still be able to do the Super Soribel glitch and just start jumping around like as a zombie.
Yeah, we have, you know, there's gonna be a lot of like things that we're gonna add in terms of like in-air attacks.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, right? What state are we in right now?
Great question. We want to know. There should be like a dead state or something that even if it only lasts for a short amount of time, it should exist.
Yeah, let me see what that was on the player. So here we have okay, no, these are game event responses.
Yep.
I wonder how this is gonna apply once we start like adding in like functionality for like gamepad and stuff.
Here, this is what it was.
It should be about the same.
We set the true state with the trigger. So it was in a dying state, right? I think what happens is when we deactivate the player, you know, and it reactivates. It sort of starts off an idle, which is why like now that it's idle, you know, it's not going to go back to dying, right? It's almost like the animator sort of reset itself, right? So we may want to do something where we take everything that was in the state controller that actually has like, you know, like a trigger to it. And what I mean by trigger is that like it gets sent to the animation event, and almost like reapply all of them. If that makes sense.
Not fully. Not fully.
So we had a dying state, right? Which
is not when the player is dead, but when the player is dying, like when they take the final hit that takes away their last heart, right?
Yeah, if we were to look at the animator, right? In this really
complex web of shadows.
Yeah, all that. You can see that the what causes you to go to player death is dying, right?
Is dying
from any state. However, the issue is when we transition to another scene, it sort of like resets it back to entry, and I think it's also resetting all the parameters to their default.
Got it. And so you're saying that's why it works when you do a scene transition.
Although I guess we don't really have to worry about that if you're dead and we fix like the whole moving glitch while you're dead. Well, then they won't go into any transition.
Yeah, exactly that.
Before you guys move to that, do you want to like just in simple terms just like explain what was fixed? So like the player, like what you guys just fixed.
Yeah, so what we fixed is the player being able to move or jump while attacking by using this new like framework that we built that says what things or like what actions can you take while doing another action or something. So if you are attacking, we effectively now say you can't jump, you can't dash, you can't crouch, you can't do anything else while you're attacking except do nothing or attack again for a combo. And so now the player can't like just like slide around and like jump while attacking, and this also stops them from breaking the game, because before what you could do is if you mash jump and attack enough, one of them would overlap and then you wouldn't be able to attack again.
Yeah,
now
can we see that? Can we see that happening just in like Yeah, can we just see that happening? I know you were showing it before, but
What, the attacking?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
I can't really move while attacking. I'm holding the
Yeah.
left and right key.
So you're just mashing, and you could just attack. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And you know,
Excellent.
we're definitely gonna need to like see what we want of our
Yeah.
character. Like, do we, you know, as we're attacking, do we want to allow a dash to sort of cancel that out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like, can you do like a 1-2 and then like dash away to be safe, right?
right, so like
And stuff like that.
those are kind of things that we have to figure out, like if we want that in the game.
Yeah.
And also when we do that, we have to make sure things are set up properly, right? So if we do a dash, well, that should, you know, set is dashing to true, and then in our interactions, we want to set things to false. Anything that could like, and again, we may want to like clean this up. Wait, hold on, that was weird. Can't play this. Okay, because a lot of things that we're doing right now, like these transitions, can come from any state, and we may want to clean that up. We may actually want, you know, dashing to only happen from, you know, walking, idle. Like, we may really want to be explicit so that this way things don't really interrupt each other as much.
Sure.
You know, any state is like a really convenient thing, but it can be hard to deal with when you know, anything can interrupt anything.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, then this would like sort of minimize how much we have to deal with in like logic in these little logical things that I'm creating.
Yeah.
Like the state interactions thing. And also keep in mind, chat, a lot of this is just stuff we're building here. So when I say state interactions, it's kind of like something that we just coined for our project. It's not necessarily something that's like, I guess it makes sense, right? It's
a universally coined term, right?
Right, but it's not always a common thing in game development, or maybe it is. I have no clue.
Yeah, it's all good, but yeah, I get it. Just state interaction, like how do states interact? Are you in the state of attacking, dying, jumping, falling, just stuff like that? And how do those interact? Because should you be able to attack while dying? No. Should you be able to crouch while attacking? No. Should you be able to die while jumping? Yes.
I forgot to.
So, it's important.
I forgot to test this out. So here we are.
Yep.
Oh, I could still move. Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so where did you try and change it? Show me again. Try to change it.
Oh, I know why. It's because it's not is dying. It's just dying.
Where?
Dying. It's because I used the wrong.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Because I thought it was is dying. It's just I just used dying. That's what it was.
Sure.
Ace of the wrong key again.
And so this should
to the best of us.
Yeah, right. So this should stop you from moving after you die, right?
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that was weird.
It's because I was I guess away from it. I don't know.
1, 2.
I can awesome. So basically, it's just preventing input.
Nice, which is what we want.
Wait, that was causing Super Soribel world glitch?
Yeah. So us being in the dying state, like we needed something to. So the state interaction stuff just ensures that we is attacking set without actually having to go into animation events and set those things. Because it could be set under different conditions. Because I'm sure we're gonna have like different performing attack 1, attack 2. Like if we have like a different animations, different blades. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how we do it.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
But,
we don't really
that...
have to worry about any other glitches. One of the things we may have to worry about though is fading out. Right. Going back to the last checkpoint. And that may cause that may cause some issues, right?
How so? As in things won't get reset.
Exactly. When you deactivate a player or a game object, you deactivate all its components. So we have to see what that does to the animator, for example.
Okay.
Like it's gonna go, into here, but it may not go back into here. And that was the issue.
Got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's a bug for another day.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Nice. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have to work on?
We can try and get a projectile going if you want.
Projectile.
Because she'll eventually have a bow and arrow, but right now we don't have that sprite. But just getting anything to just shoot from the player on a button, like at any given speed. I'll look through our code right now and see, do we have any little like item things that we can use as a thing, or we can use like a base like circle sprite, which is fine too.
Do we want to? How do we want to do that? I wonder. You know the game Dandara, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it had a you were able to aim, right? Like sort of like in a 2D plane, you were able to aim forward, up, sort of rotate on almost like 180 degrees of rotation. And well, on the on console Nintendo Switch, you use your left stick, right? You aimed and then left stick to aim. So I wonder what the PC version is, because that could sort of we may want to use something like that.
Yeah. I totally get that.
You get what I'm saying, right? Like know, match a Let me see. I don't know if Dandara is on PC. I know it is. PC. Unless they just like
the fun one. Yeah, go ahead.
Unless they just always recommended controller.
Got it. Yeah, I figure, but I'm not sure.
I mean, we could use the mouse.
We could use the mouse, but I'm thinking about. It's tough because it's tough. I say first, let's do one thing at a time. Let's get the projectile going.
Okay.
And then come back to free aim if we have time.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Nami Kuro. What's up?
Yo.
Do you make games?
Thanks, Nami Kuro. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
What are your interests in terms of game development? Please tell us. And Chris and Quan will answer because I can never pay attention to chat when I'm coding.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, but let us know. What are you into? What kind of games do you play? If you're a gamer, are you an engineer or like a programmer, or not? Are you just here for the cool vibes and the game development? Let us know.
I'm just gonna apply.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, what did I do? Okay.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, what happened?
No, it's just I moved Windows. Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with the apply all.
No. No, I had to apply all. I think.
Yeah. I'm saying that's good. I thought that error was or the warning was because of that.
Okay, let's go back to Sandbox.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we already did you already write code for shooting up projectile, or?
Well, I have
not
before.
Yet. Yeah, and I know we have an instantiate thing or like addressable thing that we are doing for the after images. I figured we can do a similar kind of thing.
It's exactly what I was gonna do.
All right, cool.
So here, right? We have a mono behavior.
Yeah, I forget what it was called.
So we have after image, right? It's essentially going to be like this. We're going to. It's not going to really have anything except what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So here we have after image controller. I don't think it's anything more than what sprite to use.
This will need
after image controller. Yeah,
it's
like projectile controller, right? We start.
I think that a projectile controller sounds pretty good.
Projectile
Sorry guys, my audio wasn't working for like 2 minutes, and I was trying to fix it. So
yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, I'm back now. So if you guys could update me for like a minute just now, that would be good.
We've just been talking about code and stuff. Like we were talking about what were we talking about? Brain. Why do you do this?
Right? Projectile. I assume the project because I saw the screen.
Yes, projectile. You're totally right. And so we're gonna base it off our after image controller, and for everyone on stream, the way the after images work when the player does a dash is we just create a new, like, we take the sprite that the player is on, we create a new version of it with a color hue to make it look cool, and then just delete it after a certain amount of time. In this case, we'll do a similar kind of thing with the bullet. Instead of the after image staying still, it will move with the velocity. And after a certain amount of time, or if it hits an object, it should destroy itself.
Is this going to be a general projectile, or are we?
I think general
for the player, or
general. It's going to be general.
I think it's general, yeah. So that any enemy should be able to fire projectile, any player,
sounds good,
boss, etc.
Okay, cool.
The only thing we have to figure out is direction. How do we deal with like relative to the transform, right? I mean, it's gonna spawn it where the transform is, like say the player.
Yeah, but you don't know if it's gonna go left or right. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, hold on. Let me look at what we use the spawn action for this.
Okay. Also, real quick for Namikuro, used to make games, now focus mainly on web development. Cool. I do web development at my job during the, and your only dev experience, or your only experience with game dev is Unity. Yeah, Unity is a great starting point for a lot of people.
It's also definitely our only experience with game dev.
Yeah, for the main part, like we are also Unity devs, but I do dabble, or not dabble, I work in web development, so I do a lot of React, Angular, JavaScript, all that kind of fun stuff if you're into that.
Yeah, and that's a combination of my experience as well, but like I work in GIS, which is like, you know, geographic information systems, so
yeah,
we have a similar background.
So
very cool.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
So for now, I'm just gonna have it go right?
Oh, that's what it was, spawn action. Yeah, so we could use spawn action.
Yeah.
Just to, yeah, like this could be used for a projectile, right?
Yes, it could. So essentially, the projectile controller would, when initiated, would start its, path. And here, I'm just thinking of what could be done. Say if we do it from the hand, or if we do it from like a different object.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so facing, like facing, or we'd have to use like a certain vector. For now, though, we could just like go right or left or something.
Sure. Okay. And so you're saying that you can't figure out the local scale and do the same local scale, or opposite, because if the player is facing same local scale.
That's not going to affect velocity though.
Sorry, I'm saying based on the x, like if the player is facing in a negative x, they're facing left, negative y, and then you take that and you multiply it by a velocity to go negative or positive.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good idea for now.
Cool.
So let me go to after.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah.
Hey Spartan, thanks for popping in.
Hey Spartan,
you're never late for the BkGameDevs stream. You can pop in anytime you want. But first half of our stream, we were just working on some bugs for the player attacking and the player dying, and we basically fixed them.
Yeah.
Now we're working on adding projectiles for just a general projectile.
Here we can have serialization, private float speed. Right?
Yeah, sure. Speed is good, yeah.
Underscore speed. And here it's just left or right for now.
Yep.
So new
I'll be right back in like 2 seconds. Give me a minute.
1, 2.
No problem.
Transform.
Go for it, Sonic.
X times speed. I am speed.
Okay. You are speed.
Yeah, and then I guess I could do 0, right? That should be fine. Because we're not really too concerned about whatever. Okay, so when it gets instantiated... Oh, here's the issue. We need to do this on update. So,
yes.
Like on fixed updates. That's the thing. So when we...
fixed update.
So we're going to do private vector to direction. Or if we want to get real fancy. That's how you spell it, right? Trajectory?
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah. So here we're doing this, all that good stuff, right? Trajectory.
So we're not doing it on update because update runs once per frame.
Yeah, many of the physics stuff. Yeah,
physics stuff. Yeah, just for people on stream to know.
Here we can just give it like a rigid body 2D, rigid body 2D, 2D, or not 2D. Here we can say equals get component this. So we're making it clean, right?
Yeah, I believe Spartan provided the correct spelling, which I believe we have it correct.
Nice, thanks. Thank you, Spartan. You're always
here
for us.
Yes.
Okay, so we said trajectory. We could set it here because it's essentially the start. And then pretty much just dot velocity is equal to trajectory forever.
So in this case, instantiate is essentially the start here, right?
Yes, because you can see here that instantiate gets called right when the asset or the game object's instantiation gets completed. So I imagine this is synonymous to start.
Gotcha. I'm back.
Okay.
So might as well just do it all here, right?
That was not 2 seconds, Quan, unless you said 2 minutes, and I just want.
I said 2 seconds and lied to you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So here we can do speed, rigid body 2D. Yeah, so this should be fine as like a nice projectile thing, and then we can add a little.
What are we using right now? Are we using anything?
Square.
Okay, just a random object. We can just use a random object.
Yeah.
Use a circle, you maniac.
Wait, did you use a 2D object or a 3D object just now?
2D.
Okay, I couldn't see. Okay.
A square projectile?
I love squares.
A square projectile.
Okay, fine.
Listen.
Wait,
to quote ourselves, we killed the squares.
Oh man, yeah. And that large square object is. Yeah, that's a big boy square.
That's a big boy square.
For those small, tiny boy squares.
Can you? You got to use a circle, man.
Nah, it's fine. No.
All right, use the square. Use the square. We're
just living in this awkward world where squares are projectiles, but it's all right.
It could be anything. It's 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, just cut it in to 0.3 or something, or even half should probably be, or half scale on all. Well, not Z. You can keep the Z. Just do X and Y. It's 0.5.
That's probably best. Oh, okay. So then we definitely don't want this.
A thick square boy. That was done simultaneously. Good job, Quan.
Right.
Local scale. We want to make sure we're only taking the local scale.
Yes. That's something that we have learned. The local scale is definitely what we want.
Transform dot local scale dot Y. Transform dot local scale dot Z.
And then where's the position? Where does it get the position from again?
That's on the spawn action side.
Okay.
So there's it gets instantiated by whatever's,
And we can set an offset, so if we want to be in front of the player, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but ideally the actual position and what instantiates it, or what becomes the parent object in a sense, or the instantiator would be, if it's a bow and arrow, it'd be the very tip.
Yeah.
Or
I get you.
Or the bow itself, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it would make sense for it to come from there.
Shall we explain simply to the viewers what we are trying to figure out here?
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is create a projectile for the player. So to do that, we have to say, where will the projectile start effectively? So it'll start at the player's position, but a little bit ahead of them. And we can set an offset, because if we didn't set an offset ahead of the player,
they start from there.
It would start inside. Yeah, as he's showing, it would start inside of their body. We want it to start a little bit to the right of the player, where it looks like it's coming out of the player, out of a gun, a bow and arrow.
Here, basically.
At some point, we're gonna have to use facing, like in the spawn action code.
Mm-hmm.
Like figure out where is it facing, left or right, in order to make sure that the offset is properly, kind of like the collider offset.
Yeah.
We changed it based on facing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do that here, but let's not do that yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So here we're gonna say projectile controller probe. Okay. Because the rigid body 2D component is required, it automatically added it.
Cool, nice.
Get rid of this.
Laya says, might work if their projectile is their heart.
Word. Can you imagine? Yeah, so my powers, I can shoot bullets from my heart. I mean, that's a different definition of tough love. Guys. No problem. Like tough love. Just like start shooting the bullets like from your heart.
I'm made this sweater with my tears.
Exactly that.
I think we should make it a thing. We make a SpongeBob reference every single stream.
That'll happen without me even trying. Like,
game concept right there. Tough.
Yeah, tough love. That's like a game jam game. Like
game. The
theme is love, and you come up with tough love, and yeah, our character shoots enemies with heart energy. They just destroy everyone with it.
Okay.
Work Cupido Hardo.
Cupido Hardo.
So I'm just gonna do speed is 5, or maybe speed is 10.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Chat.
Chat is great.
Maybe certain magical attacks would not need to have an offset.
Yeah, some might not, but most will, because I think most of the magical attacks will come from the player's like hand, foot, or a weapon or something. Right. So it won't be directly in their center.
It's gonna depend on how we put it together, right?
Yeah,
projectiles are things that are being spawned, so they may require an offset, they may not. Things like magical attacks or whatever they may just be part of the character's animation, so we won't necessarily be spawning anything.
Yeah, kind of like how the Drake right now, when it attacks, it shoots a fire breath, but it's part of the animation. It's not a projectile. So and that's effectively magic. It's like fire magic, right?
Yeah.
So
and we're trying to make it so that like we're trying to actually not do too much of this in code, because it just creates too much script. Like we're trying to like do a lot of the logic within the animation. For example, where the collider is when you have an attack is something that we're changing around. Within animation rather than in code, and we're trying to take advantage of that because I think it simplifies things. And say we ever want to bring, we ever want someone to work on this that's not really a coder, but they know the Unity editor, they know how to do animations. It would make it a lot easier.
So we got lazy. We have area of effect shockwave attacks. And then we got something a bit more gruesome. Placenta attacks, which I don't play Bloodborne and I have no idea.
Oh my god.
I think I'm
and then the sequel, Rough Love, I'm dead.
I'm dead. What am I doing? Okay, so here's like after image spawn, like we can create a bunch of spawn.
Well.
Spawn
I admit a loss of words.
I'm just gonna call this the square projectile spawn.
Yeah. Square projectile spawn. Yeah, this will go away or get renamed at some point, but yeah. Sounds good.
So the thing about these though is we have to create them as like prefabs. And these prefabs have to be addressable.
Yep, because we're using the instantiate. if you're new to Unity and stuff, what a prefab is, or what an adjustable is, they're just like you can take anything you create. If you see in the hierarchy in the upper left of the screen, there is a hierarchy, and like the player is blue, the camera is blue, the Drake is. That just means that it's something that we create it once with all of its like values, and then instead of having to build it again in another scene in another place, we can just drag and drop another version of that thing. So stuff like enemies and bullets, you just want them to be able to be like popped in at any time. You'll make them a prefab or an addressable. That's what we're doing there.
Oh yeah, and one of the things here, we're not going to set parent. Rotation is also part of it, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Oh yeah. And last thing is I actually have to create the mechanism to do it. Right?
Actually shoot, right? Yeah.
So it could probably be something like this, right? Yeah. How did we do this? Oh, we had set something up for dashing. I don't think I ever changed that.
Yeah. So this we'd have to create like another control or something.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about how we may do this. So to actually like do this, it's not really like the most difficult thing. Hold on, let me think this one through. So we have
look at all those well-named things. Never forget first year CS facts. And then Spartan says keep it in as an Easter egg. See, I'm all for that. I'm all for the God mode like Easter eggs being like dumb stuff. Like
I love Easter eggs.
Like yo, the player can like throw a brick, it does max damage, it one shots all boss, it goes through super armor, like that kind of stuff is hilarious. Oh my goodness, Tims. Easter egg Tims. If we can get sprites where our character has like a NY fitted Tims and like a marm, I'll be living in a happy place.
The glizzy gun.
The glizzy, not the glizzy.
What keyword would we be using?
I say are we using Z for anything?
Maybe.
I don't remember, but X is attack, C is dash, V is slide. So maybe Z would be good, I guess. Not the glizzy Glock.
This is exactly why we want to switch over to the
input manager thing.
The new input manager or input system.
Not the glizzy Glock. I'm dead.
Input dot get key, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at the whole project and see what we got.
Yeah, let's see. What are we using? I hope we're not using Z for.
We're using Z for health.
Oh, for a healing.
Healing.
Okay. Life is too hard. Shift. Like this is rough. So
wait, I'm sorry. What is this for again? I zoned out.
The button for shooting, because we're on keyboard, it's a bit tougher. But I guess X can be attack, C can be dash, V is slide, Z is heal. Do you want shift to be shoot? Because I don't think B
shift seems fun for my pinky, but I guess we can come back and reference other games.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm on PC, I use a gamepad like a controller way. But,
yeah.
Well, I wanna talk to like PC players who use a keyboard for these types of games.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. Yo, Spartan just said some stuff. So Cyberpunk I did hear about the big Cyberpunk update, the next gen stuff where apparently it's playable and you won't just walk through walls, see characters.
They added JoJo poses for photo mode.
But now they apparently have JoJo poses photo mode. And
very interesting fact. Thank you.
I'll tell you why they did that. Game bombed at launch because it was riddled with all the glitches, and they were like, "How do we get people to play our next gen version?" JoJo.
I did not return it, but I did not return it. I know people who returned it. I know people who did.
I didn't even buy it. I didn't even buy it. I was like, it looked good, but I was like, and then it was doo-doo. So
I know. I was waiting for this because I know it was that type of game that kind of got rushed. So
yeah,
I was like, all right, let me wait a year or so.
Yo, it was doo-doo at launch. Like
I know it
those
was. I
glitches
know
were
it was.
hilarious. Like I watched those videos. So funny. So
I mean,
funny.
I played it on next gen, but it still crashed on me like 10.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna finish this.
I saw the most hilarious thing is like water spawning in, characters just walking through walls. Anyway, Alex, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I'm just thinking about the best way to call this thing.
Future GTA.
Why not similar to, yeah.
With the sequence, we did it on a loop, and we had something that triggered it.
Oh yeah,
we do
dashing, right?
Right, but we do want to kind of get away from that a little bit at
Okay.
some point. So I'm just trying to see what's best. Because remember, all the attack inputs and all that stuff is like not at all in the player controller code. Like it's all done through this action-based system.
Got it.
Which again, that might change as well. But for now, I'm just thinking what could be, what could be done. Perform combo.
Let's see. It should be not like it can be, or maybe we can mimic the performing attack, just performing shoot, or something. Sorry, yeah, we'll explain. So two things. So yes, Cyberpunk had no cheats, and it was kind of like a future GTA in first person. But what we're doing right now is we're trying. So we have the ability to shoot, or no, we wrote the code that should let our player like shoot a projectile. But we have to figure out a button to make it work, and we could do that quite easily. But we're trying to use a new action-based system where instead of writing code for making the projectile shoot, we have like actions that we can drag and drop that will do it for us on key pressed. And so in the future, as we add more things, we can just drag and drop a whole lot more instead of having to go and write specific like code clauses for everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me
yeah. All right. So then I say
ranged attack.
Yes, we want optimal, scalable hard path.
Just to differentiate between the.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. It needs to be scalable. It needs to be clean. Come on, my guy. The game is gonna get bigger. You can't have coupled code. Sorry. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna.
I say for right now. Yeah. So do we just? Yeah.
No,
so what are you going for?
It's nothing like too wild. Really.
Yep.
I'm just putting it in a group just for the sake of like. Just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I hear that.
So it's gonna be like a condition.
A what?
Condition. Shift.
Oh,
key.
okay.
Shift key down, right? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's choose shift.
Shift. Where is shift? Is shift called alpha or something? I have no idea.
No, it's probably called shift. Hold on.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Lazy Leaf is confused on the drag and drop. Like, does it allow things to run like Scratch, or just calling it? So this is the new thing that.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. So it's effectively like Scratch, kind of. Yeah. So how Scratch lets you like you can drop in a condition and drop in what happens. It's not the exact same, but we've created like actions that trigger things and conditional like things that we can drag and drop. So we can say drag and drop condition, player presses shoot, then action is fire projectile, and that will internally run a piece of code we have that says instantiate a bullet and fire it. Does that make sense?
That was kind of the goal, Lazy, like to create something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, why isn't this working? Did I do this wrong? Oh, it's because it's a spawn point. Hold on, let me rename this. Copy that.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
I created the wrong asset.
Gotcha. Okay.
An action, it's a spawn action.
Yeah, idea was to
hold on.
make things a little easier. Visually.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. So it's calling a method. But what we didn't want to do is go into the code and say when user presses shift, shoot projectile, because what we noticed when we were doing that before, our player controller, like the file, got very, very, very big. And then as soon as we added something new, we had to then go and write a lot more code to say, okay, make sure that this doesn't break this other thing, and that if you're shooting, this doesn't break this, and it got more convoluted. Here we have a simple like UI that just says like, okay, once you drag and drop, what affects what in a very easy to read way. Like I want to do X actions in one file and call actions. Not enough. Yeah, so actions in one file, calls from another. Sure, and it keeps it more clean. Yeah.
That was the
hydrate.
Goal. Hey, thank you for the hydrate. I needed that.
I was just hydrating, so I hydrated.
So lazy. this was sort of my implementation of trying to make it so that we had like these very modular components that were repeatable, like spawning of items and things like that. Mm-hmm. Putting it together through scriptable objects, and then essentially these pieces of logic would get run by actual model behaviors in the end. But the goal was to make it so that it was very much configurable here. But it's not exactly the easiest thing to work with when you have really complicated logic. So I kind of did something for that, but still.
Yes,
I mean, there's a lot of optimizations that still need to be made, but ideally, like adding a projectile would be as simple as these three, things like getting the shift key down, the actual like action, which is the creation of this projectile. I use this thing for grouping. I usually like started like grouping at multiple actions that happen one after the other, and then just putting it in this like sort of what I call an action provider, which is essentially like, okay, gather inputs, perform combo, square projectile, all happen on update, and all of these actions happen on fixed update. So they actually are still part of that whole loop. So hopefully this just works. Bootsan, thank you for the follow. Tell us what your
thanks,
Bootsan. Thank you for the follow.
Tell us about your favorite Metroidvania if you have one.
Yeah.
Let me see if this works.
Before you get to that, yeah, projectiles.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, I pressed the shift key too much.
Yes.
Maybe shift is a bad idea.
Maybe shift is a bad idea.
Yeah, right.
Turn off sticky keys.
Oh yeah, so the projectiles are supposed to like destroy themselves too, right?
Hold on, guys. Before we continue, Quan, do you think you could like in very simple terms, like just like describe to chat like that very complex interaction we just had about OOP or?
Yeah. So in a simple terms, what we're trying to do is make it so that we write less code to perform all of the actions, and we're able to drag and drop just the actions to happen instead. So instead of having to write tons of code around like shooting, we write it once and then we can just drag and drop it on different like enemies or player or anyone else, and the code handles itself, but the actions are easy for us to drag and drop and read in a easy way.
Yeah, so we were just having developer to developer conversation, and so sometimes it can get very complex and convoluted, but we were just optimizing the way we do things in the editor, basically.
Optimize.
Yep. And it turns out, stuff that you learn in your college education could really, really help things for you in the future.
which Lazy Leaf is not happy about with that face. I can't believe that you retained stuff from college. How dare you?
It happens sometimes.
But
anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what are you going for?
No, I wanted to destroy itself once it hits the wall.
Oh, okay.
But
so it needs a box collider 2D, right? I assume you have a collider event controller, and then compare tag should be ground, I guess. If it hits any kind of ground, then it should destroy the game object. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just layers player attack. Wait, do we have a What does the physics look like here?
Okay, so from
Ground.
last I saw here, the projectiles were shooting, and then what did you want to?
They need to destroy themselves.
They need to destroy themselves. I was gonna say that.
Do we
okay.
tag?
Yeah.
It says ground.
Tag what as ground?
Oh, we do. No, we don't even tag these. Our tiles.
Our tiles are not tagged as ground.
No, they're layered as ground.
Oh.
Maybe that's what.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
Hold on. Oh,
Spartan, that's funny that you added optimize to adapt to optimize overcome. You do have to start with improvising though.
Layer mask compare.
Improvise, adapt, optimize, overcome.
Makes sense.
So I can do like an or. Why did we make these private? Is there something inheriting from this? Oh, there is something inheriting from this.
Okay, and then that's probably why.
Oh, we're not even using this though, are we?
I think we are.
Seen transition controller?
Didn't we use that?
No, I think we moved to the whole new system. I think maybe
the action sequencer.
Yeah, I think you might have added this.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's alright. We'll keep it around until we figure out whether we can.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sure we'll have to go and rework a whole lot of code. That's no problem.
Okay, so
Barney,
what I did was
I see your emojis.
I added.
I see the emojis.
So I added a compare mask. So collider. Wait, other dot mask layer.
Monarch Marin.
He's touching layers.
Other dot.
I want to get the layer mask. Is it here?
Maybe.
The layer
I'll look up layer mask right now.
Sure.
Layer mask Unity. What does it have on it? It has value.
So maybe
converts a layer mask value to an integer, and then
maybe we don't need collider. Maybe we could literally just be like other dot game object dot layer.
Layer. Yeah, I think
is equal to like compare
works.
Mask.
That could work.
Oh, okay. So it seems like this is a struct. Oh, okay. It must have some sort of There it is. Yep, it has an implicit operator. Okay, cool.
Gotcha. And Lazy Leaf. So, me and Chris don't use Visual Studio itself. We use VS Code for the most part.
Mainly because we use.
Oops.
We do web development at work, and like I don't know, my natural IDE I guess is V. So I don't use Visual Studio like day-to-day basis. So that's why I don't use Visual Studio.
I use it on a day-to-day for me.
Exactly.
Right. That's why.
VS.
But like for I guess this project, I'll switch over to Visual Studio to do debugging. But I mainly use Visual Studio Code. But you know, I prefer Visual Studio Code.
So a few things. One, never Notepad C++ only. Yeah, that's unheard of. That's maniac behavior. Like, why would you just do that? And my dress up darling, did you?
Okay, so my dress up darling is an.
Is a what?
It's an anime that scored higher than Attack on Titan ND.
My what?
That's hilarious. My dress up darling.
We're not going to talk about it right now. We're not going to talk about it
right
now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then,
okay, that didn't work. Hold on.
Spartan, you told me about a few Metroidvania, but we'll talk about it off stream. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to them about it, but we'll talk about it.
If compare tag
in Notepad, I can't. Yeah, wild Notepad chat plus. I can't with y'all. Y'all got me.
We're weak. We need the humor sometimes.
I mean, y'all, wow, not Notepad, Chad. I use Notepad++ for stuff. Just, I will never write any code and develop in there. Like, that is
No.
brutal.
Just use like Vim for game development.
Not Vim. Edit your C# files in Vim. No. Vim is terrible.
We'll create the entire Metroidvania.
Nah, man. This is not 1985, bro.
You're not a senior engineer if you create your entire Metroid.
Nah. Medic command only. Y'all crazy. Get out of here. Okay. Hey, I think it worked, right?
No.
Or did it not work? Oh, oof.
What's that? Oh, thanks for the biddy, Spartan. Doge.
Yo, thank you for the biddies.
Yeah.
Doge.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
What's going on? I'm confused.
Wait, now I'm curious. You say Doge, and I say Doge. What do you say?
Chris, what's yours?
I don't know what just happened.
So there's so I call it the Doge meme, and Alex said the Doge meme. What do you say for Doge?
Is it all the same?
Nothing is all the same.
I also say Doge. y'all, are y'all fans of Dogecoin? No, let me stop. Let's not get into that.
Background,
I'm not talking about that.
Ladders, eels,
escalators.
eels. Not this or that.
Also, Spartan, I know you're probably using like text to speech, but Quan's name is spelled KWAN.
What was that? Okay.
That is true. Okay, what's going on, Alex? Is another white space and
let me attach.
Sure, yeah.
Man, I love Visual Studio, and my computer can handle it. So.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get why you do it daily. That's how I feel about IntelliJ. I actually do enough. I will write front end code in IntelliJ only because I also have to run my Java project. But yeah. Anyway, enough about IDEs.
Right, where are we at in the code right now? I got thrown off here.
Is anything firing? Okay, so fire.
Projectile fire. I can't tell if it's like destroying. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we're trying to see.
Can you stand closer to the wall? Oh, okay.
It came here very late though, right? Like,
Fungi
let that
is
run
back.
and then try again.
Oh, and it depends on what. This is ladders. Oh, I interacted with ladders just now.
It's all good, Spartan. It's no problem. My spelling is not the most intuitive, so it's all good. Yeah, but thank you. And then fungi is right.
Back.
I think Adam is a very good
I
IDE
like
as well.
Adam. I used to use Adam in college. Thanks for reminding me.
Hold on, maybe I did this wrong. We are player attack, and just to double check, the physics.
Player attack and ground.
Lazy Leaf noted that it's going behind stuff and not being destroyed.
Oh, it's going behind stuff. Okay, could it be that it's on the wrong Z position?
No,
like
it's in the right Z.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, colliders don't work on Z. Sorry, 2D colliders don't they completely ignore Z.
Okay.
So it is a box collider 2D.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
See if I can actually edit this thing.
Elias says it took you longer than it should to switch from Adam to VS.
It's yeah, and I understand. Yeah, because Adam is good, but once you get into VS Code, it's very hard to switch.
So we have there.
VS Code is a real good Let's talk about the best IDE. Code blocks.
Code blocks. That was the first one.
No, that is a garbage IDE. Please don't use code blocks. If you do, no harm. But
not as in Rapture.
God, code blocks. I haven't heard that one in
in a while.
Yeah, a long time. Oh
code blocks
my.
is not fun.
They should have never started us off on code blocks.
Here we go with lazy.
You know what? It's not terrible. It's a great starting IDE. Okay.
It's not
starting IDE.
Oh, but see, a job you gotta use code blocks. That's rough.
Hold on, lazy. Okay, we're not.
I seen some shit. But as you're asking, no.
Are we making the projectile die? Okay.
So what we're trying to do is we want the projectile. So it has a collider, so it can tell if it touches other things.
Yeah.
When it touches a wall which has the layer ground, it should say, okay, if I hit anything that has the layer ground, I should just destroy myself. That's what we think should be happening, but it's not happening. So we're wondering if we missed a layer or something along those. Yeah, so what are you seeing so far, Alex?
Is everything set to ground here?
I guess only these parts.
Can we like make sure of that? Can we?
I mean, everything in and ground tiles is the only thing that needs to be set to ground.
Yeah, exactly. And the collision should happen because this is a trigger. So a trigger will collide with a non-trigger collider and.
Okay, all right. Do it again.
Trigger.
And also, yeah. Let that run and then let's see, because yeah, it's weird. Why is just ignoring it? Hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if we run this again and we shoot, it should hit a wall soon. No, okay. So can you put scene view and game view next to each other and let's see like where it's going, if it just goes infinitely?
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Okay.
This is others ground tiles. This is square projectile. Okay, cool.
Okay, so it's hitting, which is, and now this if
Compare
it's where it fails.
So if not this, so what is other game object?
Other that game object, that layer,
tiles,
yeah.
Layer 6. This one is 64.
Nani? Wow, that is a nani if I ever saw one up.
This is ground layer though, right?
It should be, yeah. And why would it be 64? What?
The layer that...
Yeah.
Maybe we're looking at the wrong layer. Maybe we're looking at the sorting layer and not
Well, sorting layer it shouldn't be 6 or 64 either. We don't have that many. So maybe game object that layer is not 1.
It's touching layers. But that's not what I'm looking for. I want to know if this is like the right layer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to see. So game object that layer.
Spartan, that's a nice BioShock reference, right? I hope I'm right.
Hold on. So here we're seeing player attack, right? Which is layer 11.
Yeah.
But ground is layer 6. But when we do a layer mask... Oh, maybe because we're using the wrong thing. Here we're saying layer mask, right?
Okay,
Hold on, let me do the math a little bit, right? So we're talking about layer 6, right? 0 is 0, 1 is 1, 2 is 2.
3 doesn't exist. 4, 5, 6.
8, 16.
Okay, I don't know what math you're doing, but okay. And Lazy Leaf says if this don't work, maybe just hard code it and let's just see if we can hard code and answer and see what happens.
No, so this layer mask is, as it sounds, it's a mask. So the values are going to be are going to be like
integers.
They're going to be integers, but in a certain order. Like it's not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be 0, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, then 64.
Oh.
What it is, it's essentially like flags, right? And they use these numbers because on a binary value, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially like saying 0001, 000 for 64 or something like that.
Wow, I did not think we were gonna get into binary here, but
I mean, I use it.
Would you kindly get Alex a calculator?
No, but I do use it. I do use it in places like see input
Scientific
behavior.
calculator.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I'm using 0, 1, 2, 4. The reason is because like when I want the selection to happen, you'd be able to select. You can actually select 2 for the enumeration. And it's kind of like you're kind of like pouring them, like you're kind of combining them in a way.
I'm not following, but I trust you. So,
I'm just gonna give you an example real quick though, just so you guys like are aware of what I'm talking about.
Sure, yeah.
This is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
Everyone, here's your binary lesson. If it's a 0,
0, 0, 1, and then 0. Yeah.
2. And
Now,
so
if we want to say that a particular like input behavior,
Lost me there.
it essentially allows you to say, okay, this is both. It has 2 flags, right? Like it's both down and hold. Let me zoom in for you.
Oh yeah, zoom in.
That's gonna.
oh man, this is
So basically, it just allows you to add multiple flags to a single variable, right? So if you want to say that this flag is both down and hold, then you use the binary, 1 and 1.
for both, yeah.
Which is just like these 2 together, right?
I get it, yeah. Mhm. I understand the binary.
Yeah, no, but essentially it allows you to properly separate things, right? Because, for example, the value of 3, like we can't use the value of 3 because we're using that we're using that to indicate that it's both down and hold. If we have one that also has value 3, it's gonna throw this off like a whole lot. Anyway, don't worry.
Bruh.
Don't worry about.
I did that.
Don't worry about it. But that's essentially what that layer mask is. Hold on.
I get you. Okay, so again,
wait, Alex, can you keep those comments there?
I will at some point add them back.
They're useful.
Unity layer mask to layer.
Because that was useful. Yeah, we'll put those back at some point.
Yeah, so everyone who may have been lost about all that binary foolishness.
Exactly.
Binary is how code works in its lowest form, and
correct.
It seems like the layers run on a binary math convention, which is just the powers of 2. So 2 to the 0 power is 1. 2 to the 1 power is 2. 2 to the 2 power is 4. And like it continues, and each 0, every time you move 1 to the left, math happens. That's what we're trying to figure out. You will never probably need this, but for all the math people are here like, yep, yes. The math enums go brrr.
If you took that discrete mathematics class in your major, then you might be getting that flashback like, oh.
And the Apuk is hype like, oh, math.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get this right the first time, right?
Okay, so yeah, I can do binary. So what are we looking for?
So this is what we're doing.
Oh. All right. Well, you have lost me, friend.
You know what? Let's just let Alex rock.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got.
I think.
Let's put like the coder music on, and I'm in.
This is like Hacker 90s.
This should do it. I think this should do it.
Okay, please comment that for me, man.
I will when I figure out what I did.
I respect that.
The L's theme from Death Note starts playing.
Let me see if this works, and if it works, don't worry about it. That's what I have to say about that.
Yes. So TLDR, the second part is not picking up the layer mask. Exactly that in the quick terms.
Oh, it did it.
Is it working?
Yeah, it worked.
Do it. Yo, this guy.
I can't believe this. That was magic.
Can we make the projectiles a little bit faster now that that's working?
Yeah.
I say let's bump it up from gotta bump up those numbers from 10 to like 15 or something.
That was magic. I gotta tell you that.
Yeah, that
Actually, it was
mathematics.
actually just math.
It's just math. It was like it's
magic, to be honest.
you remember the whole thing about converting like binary to like you know,
I do, yeah.
I do.
It's like that.
I just haven't thought about it in 7 years.
Yeah,
that's both
because-
shift keys. Oh, did I kill it? Oh, I forgot. It's using player. I killed the lizard. With
Oh no, but that's good.
Yeah.
So can you do it again? Can you kill the Drake with the projectile?
I do in theory.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, I killed it. Well, I guess that's another thing. Like, so we want it to be destroyed. Hold on. We want it to be destroyed if it hits a wall and a lizard, and I think that's really where this sort of right. So that's the whole like great part of these flags and these binary bit stuff. So you can select multiple.
Two, yeah, gotcha.
For a single mass value.
Yes, yeah, makes sense.
Instead of like having like an array, right? That's the whole idea. I don't know if this is gonna work, by the way. It may
sure,
not.
let's see if it does. Let's try it out.
So let me. So it does that. Okay, so it gets destroyed on both ground and
Alex destroys Drake with logic.
Yeah.
Right.
So what this essentially does, right? This is already like it's bit form, right?
Yeah, so like an integer, right? Like
like
0, 1...
0, 1 something. Right?
Oh, okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What this does, right? Is it actually like converts like the actual 6, the 6 form to that bit form as well.
Okay.
This is called I think it's called bit shifting. Like
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's called like a bitwise
like,
shift or something.
Yeah, like when you want to you could do it like this, I think.
I haven't heard this in I literally haven't heard this in.
And I don't want
to hear. 6 years ago? 6 years ago, maybe.
I'm queasy.
Let me. Here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna add it to utilities.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That is a wonderful idea.
Public and because that's what it returns, right? Public.
Yeah, I think it is the
convert.
Yes, exactly.
Shift stuff. That's what that is.
That's what C++ does. I think it does some. Isn't that what that does? It does something where it shifts bits and other kinds of foolishness that my brain is too small to understand.
For lack of a better name, because I don't fully understand this.
That's no problem.
Oh, that's funny, Spartan. Alex just got L to let him touch the death note.
Cannot declare instance. Oh, public static. There we go. Convert to bits.
Okay, use it for buffering. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So here, we just do this.
This is not what web developers use.
I do this.
Yeah, you see, this is not
specifically. And this is I have these same utilities. Specifically, I am technically a web developer. Except I work on back-end services. So things like this I deal with a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm all front end. I'm like, ooh, look, colors.
Yeah, I actually found that I'm very good at back-end work. And sort of meta, as one of my senior managers say it. I'm like a meta developer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got projectiles. Oh wait. Oh, yeah, I think I remember. Either way, it shoots one or the other.
Yeah. And can you do it again? Oh
yeah, sure.
Let's see it again. It's nice.
Square. Yeah, but again, this square asset would eventually get replaced by actual bullet or arrow in our case, right? Because the intention
as of now,
is
we have binary bullets.
Yeah. The intention for Soribel is to one of her staple weapons is going to be like a bow and arrow, right?
Yeah. For anyone who's new here, Soribel is gonna have a sword and bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And it won't just come out of her chest. She won't just shoot people with heart energy.
That's not gonna happen.
The love beam, like Iron Man with his except his energy piece is like a heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Then,
it's like Omni beam, or his a unibeam or whatever it's called. Yeah.
But yeah,
but that's awesome.
Somehow we got it to work.
Somehow, some way, we keep coming up with funky ass stuff every single day.
We gotta give some credit to yourself there. That was a beautiful mind there. Okay.
Yes. Facts.
And you know, one of the things that we were talking.
I'm there.
One of the things we were sort of talking about adding is like an ability tracker, right? Like being able to like see like which one of these we can actually perform, right? And you'll notice that these actions that I have sort of set up have something like for a condition. Like we've been working with conditions. Conditions like if this is true, right?
Yep.
But it would be the same but at this level, right? We have all these actions, like say if we want to do wall slide or wall jumping.
Okay.
There would be an additional like variable right here called condition, right? And those conditions we basically check against like a sort of a more global sort of sense. On a more global sort of sense, is this unlocked, right? Is unlocked true, right? I mean, we sort of have something right now. This is what I'm just gonna walk through what I was thinking of for it before we finish off.
Yeah.
Sure.
You see how we have these like variables?
Yeah.
What my intention was is to is whatever we have as variables. Like say we create a bool variable. There'd be another property that indicates that we want these variables saved whenever we save. Like as part of the save like output, right?
Yeah, like saving the player.
Or the fact that they unlocked dash, right? So the condition would essentially read these variables in order to check, like, hey, is dashing enabled? Like, is it unlocked? Okay, so then you can continue with the dashing code. You're good to go. Keep doing thing, and that's
so
what I was thinking.
End up being like a map, kind of.
Yeah, kind of, right, exactly. So we can create these like very specific variables. And on the scriptal object side, like, you know, they're meant to be dynamic, right? It's just meant for us like to have like a something that says, hey, this variable we definitely want saved somewhere. As for saving, I'm not exactly sure. We
can come back to that.
It's really the simplest like thing to do, like just to maybe like turn it into JSON.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. I heard there's a better way. There's like a plugin you can get. It's like a Unity asset store thing that does anyway. That's for off stream, but like it's like a easy way to save it. It's not JSON, but it's a bit more encrypted because JSON can be changed if the player can access that file. Is what I've heard, and so there's like a better way to do it. I think.
Well, there probably are. I mean, we could look at what it does. If it's money, like if we got to pay money for it, we could just look at like what it's meant to do. Because we could, for example, just do a base 64 on it, like an encoding, and we can actually encrypt it if we wanted to.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just a matter of like storing. Where do we store that key? Used to encrypt and decrypt. If we store it in the code itself, right? If we want this game to be sort of like you don't need online to play it. It would have to be somewhere in the code, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Or a file or something like that. And if it's in the code, well, if it's a file, you lose the purpose of it, of the encryption.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, exactly.
If it's in the code, like if it's hard coded, then it only takes a hacker to figure out, like, which one to, it's.
But I mean, it's okay. Tracker. Yeah, the ability tracker is going to be like a big feature that we're going to implement in upcoming streams. Not necessarily the next stream, but it's going to be a big portion of our game.
I still have to do some work to separate out jumping, because it's all under one thing. But really, I want it to be under 3 different functions. One that handles double jump, one that handles wall jump.
Right.
So that they could be separated out into under this action provider.
Yeah. But because it is the end of our stream, we're gonna. I believe it is time for us to wrap it up, and we're gonna talk about what we accomplished at the for our stream here. Maybe Quan, you want to wrap up what we accomplished here?
Yep. So we were able to get the player to not be all buggy. So now when you're attacking or when you die, you can't move, which sounds normal, but it wasn't working before. So we got that to work. And then we also got the player to be able to shoot a projectile now, and that projectile can kill enemies, and if it hits a wall, it destroys itself. And so that helps us to, vary the way that the player can interact and attack, the enemies. Next week we'll have to brainstorm because we have a few things in the pipeline, like we said, the ability tracker and some other things which may not necessarily be next stream, but we will be working, of course, on more game development in the coming weeks, and so we will let you know, of course, when we're streaming, what we're streaming. So look forward to that. Next Wednesday we're playing more Hollow Knight, Steel Soul mode, permadeath. So Alex dies, he goes back to the beginning. He already died once, so let's see how far he gets. It's a fun time watching him take on the game. He's pretty good at it, so he doesn't just die from anything. But how far will he get before he finally succumbs?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, so he's pretty good at the game. We've established that. So we had a lot of familiar faces today. We also had a lot of great interaction today.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thanks a ton. We appreciate it. You guys are the best.
Facts.
So thank you very much.
Yep. And so with that, I guess we will close off the stream, and we will see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, y'all. Enjoy the 3-day weekend if you're off on Monday.
Yeah, and check out our social media, and look out for our recap on Instagram on Monday. We do a weekly Monday recap post to check out what we've done. So be on the lookout. Have a nice weekend.
I don't know what that means,
everyone.
But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night.
Have a good one, everyone.
Peace out.
BkGameDevs out.
We love you all.